Hello. Hi there. A brief introduction about me. I am Melvin Dsouza and I have moved from the city of Mumbai, India to the city of Southampton in the UK. I have come for the sole purpose of a visit and a visit in my initial days. And last year, in the month of September 2022, I came here on a study visa. I followed my dreams. I thought I could establish myself as a hairdresser here because I've always been doing hairdressing back home in Mumbai for past quite a few years with a good international experience. And I came here with also a plan to see what the future holds for me here. So I would like to just share a brief about my life here, about how I have lived, about my student journey, which is obviously individual to every person here. And before I start speaking about it, I would like to make this clear that I don't hold myself responsible in any way for what judgment or what decisions you take in regards to your journey to UK, whether it's for study or for any other purposes or any other views. You're responsible for your own views. And this is about my journey, which I would like to share because I guess it has been a unique journey, something different from most students, for most individuals. Everybody has their own individual choice they make, and they have their own individual experience when you move to a new city, a new place, a new country. So here's my knowledge and my journey in regards to study abroad. Hope you have fun. If you find something very useful, you could learn something from it. If you find it useful for somebody else, you could share it to them. So I decided to do my studies abroad, especially after the COVID, when the UKVI opened its borders, especially for students because they needed a lot of funds. And they started PSW visa, which is also known as a graduate visa, which was initially existing, but they had stopped it, I guess, in the year of 2017, if I'm right. And the UK government didn't want much students to move in here, I guess, or they wanted to curb a lot of immigration. You know, immigration is a rampant issue in most countries, most developed countries. So there's a lot of research needed. If you decide to come here, number one, you need to do a lot of research. When I say the word research, it could mean different for everybody. The first thing that comes to mind is to search for data, search for information online. No, it also means to talk to people, people who have already had the experience abroad and they came back. For everybody, it has been different. I always had a plan to come here or to go abroad, I would say, in general, not to UK even particularly. But if you know, most people have moved, many immigrants have moved to Australia, New Zealand, that they even stopped taking much immigrants. Only study visas and entrepreneur visas were there where you are actually pumping in more money in the economy and it benefits the country in a whole. So if you're choosing to come into UK, number one, I would say, is you got to have an open-minded attitude. You can't be fitting in, oh, I'm going to work as an engineer or a doctor, and that's all my life. There are a lot of vacancies there, I'll get a job easily. No. There have been tons and thousands of PhDs, lawyers, and well professional individuals, I would say. Don't want to target any particular profession. Individuals who have been working in jobs which are menial and the lowest paid. That's called like band one or band two in UK. So that would be something on the most lowest category of jobs. That doesn't mean it's a disrespectful job, every profession is respected in countries like UK and US and most other developed countries. I would say this, that everything burns down to how proficient you are, how far sighted you would look into your options, the opportunities that are available in the country, the research you do on the government website and not some silly website just putting in data and facts. Yes, you could refer to forums. Immigration forums are a good idea of a good source of data, not valid researched data or information, but just good source of information. If you get someone who has gone through the same kind of or similar kind of incident like you, or conditions that you have faced with your visa, you may find someone who can give you expertise knowledge. It's more like Quora, where you put in your information, I'm sorry, I would say, ask your question or some query that you have, and you can target it to a specific audience on the Quora community, or you could just apply it and ask it generally to everybody. So, forums would be a good place. You have to do your research, go online, ask people. There's no harm in asking. That's one thing I have learned no matter what profession you come from. Ask. If you need help, just ask. If you're coming on study visa, work visa, you have your sponsor, whoever it is, and you have to ask them. You have to get information from them. Unless you ask them, you have to make time, probably take an appointment with them, get more information. Now, in my personal experience as a postgraduate student, I didn't do much research as to what is the scope of the degree, but I know it would get me to a new country to start a new beginning, which I'm very glad about. I was excited, pretty much like any other student. Uh, I have made this decision when I was 36 years old, and it's a pretty, I won't say late decision, it's a pretty big decision to be made, especially in your millennial, at the beginning of your millennial year, and you're trying to settle down at this moment. You're leaving all the job, security, the professional network, the client build-up that you have made back home at this profession, especially in case you are self-employed or a skilled trade yourself. It's a big decision to make at that age. But nevertheless, it all depends and burns down to what luck and hard work you do in the new place that you move into. So other than the solution of me suggesting about ask and you will receive. It's a well-known verse in the Bible. And yes, that's very true. There are a lot of students here, lots of students I know who have come here on a study visa, but they never come to the city where they have actually registered, where the university is. I guess they just visited 4 or 5 times in the whole year just to register, get yourself registered with the NHS, and open a bank statement because those were the necessity or the requirements because they have to survive and show some identification or address proof. And they have never seen the university. Most of the classes they try to do it online. The other classes they tend to skip or probably make an excuse. And life could be difficult. Now, I know of many universities who said they would do only online classes or part time in classrooms and they don't stick to their words. Now, this could be a different problem altogether. You need to stick, you need to know what's happening. You need to ask the relevant questions to the department faculty, make the right choice, and then come to the university. There are a lot of students who come here, and once they know, oh my god, it's not like what they saw online. Like, I was literally confused by two of the universities just because they had a similar name and they are in the same city. So I did my study in the city of Southampton, and there are two big universities. I would say two universities here. One is very old, belonging to the Russell Group. Another one does not belong to the Russell Group. I'm not going to go into the names. Both have the name of the city, Southampton, in it. I was not sure which one I signed up for. I don't regret any part of it. Both of them are in the vibrant city of Southampton. Both have their ups and downs. They are well known for that specific field of course, and the faculty could be good or excellent in that specific area of subject matter. And some faculties are better more in technical expertise in the other university. So, when I say, in other words, one university is more well known and acclaimed for their traditional based courses like astrology, astronomy, doctorate in medicine, nursing, IT, engineering, and the other one is more technically acclaimed for film and drama, music, arts, yacht designs, merchant navy, nursing, hair and makeup design, and also a bunch of other courses in architectural design. So all I have their plus and minuses. I would say you need to do a lot of research. Don't blindly trust your agents. There are agents back in India whom I registered with. I thought they'll take care of my profile. After everything has come, just before I am receiving my offer letter from the university, they start asking for a small amount of money. Oh, who would do this for free? They charge some money. And I was like, it's okay, it's a few thousands. It doesn't matter. And I was on a holiday at that time back in India. And I didn't mind and I didn't want to make an argument. And I said, okay, I'll pay you. Later, I realized it was not that amount. They were charging 5 times the amount that I thought I heard. And I was willing to go through it because go through the whole payment and the whole process with the same agency because I felt they have already done most of my submission. I don't want to delay it. And I was doing pretty well in India post COVID because I picked up on some good film project and I had consistent work. Not a lot of money to throw around, but it was my hard earned money. And I would say I chose to go on with the same agency till I found out when I got my offer letter there were major mistakes in it. Basically, my name was pronounced wrong. I have three names: my middle name, first name, and my surname. And two names of them were misspelled. My address was misspelled. The course that I was applying for had was half typed. So I didn't know whose mistake it was, whether it was the university. Obviously, the university would make that mistake if they have provided that mistaken name. And I figured out that the agency were not responsive to any of my mails about the mistakes and what they are doing about it. So I had to take matters in my hand. I got in touch with the university and told them the situation, got myself out of it. I had everything well documented. What all mistakes were there, how many times I sent an email, and why I have not got any response. I had well documented the whole incident, reported to university, and then they came up. I think one of the admissions officer, who's a senior admissions officer, got in touch by email and referred a marketing team of the university back in India. So I was in touch with them though, which didn't end in a very good relationship because they also tend to refer to some other visa agent which were having a tie-up with an immigration lawyer who didn't try to charge me any money, saying that, oh, we don't charge, we don't do anything. But the day I got my CAS letter from the university, they did ask me for a huge amount of money. And I was like, you didn't tell me about this. I mean, when all this while I said, yes, we didn't say we charge money, was the response I got. We didn't say we charge money, but for these processes of visa, we do charge. So what does that mean? You're trying to just contradict, playing around with words, something what lawyers do. I'm just turn around the words, flip around words. And that was my experience with this agency, with this agent back home. I'm not going to go much in details about the name of the agent, the name of the university, and all in this video because I want this video more to be just helpful with some data, with some information for the would be prospective students here. So I'll probably cover that in another video. But what I would like to tell everybody here is be proactive, do your research well, and ask. If you have any question, ask. Your sponsor is your university. If you have a doubt on any questions regarding how they are going to help you, who's going to be responsible, do they cover up insurance? Do they help with any medical? Do they help with accommodation? Do they help with any other cultural activities? What about the life of the student in the new city? Everything, all this data would be mentioned in most university websites, I would say. They should have it, in my knowledge. With all the research that I have done, most universities do have most of the answers. But if they don't, you can always ask them. Don't depend on agents. Do your whole application yourselves. There are a lot of online videos, I guess, students who have completed their masters or prospective student master's student who probably did their bachelor's, who have spoken much about their study here in Southampton and shared YouTube videos about their life. And you can get some ideas, but if it's anything about visa rules, just be careful. Go as per the application, read your application form properly, then fill it up. Everything could go smooth. Trust me, I have completed the whole application myself. And this is after me getting two rejections in the past, in the year 2009 and 10, consistently for UK, again for a master's course. And though I had not given my IELTS, which was a mandatory rule by the UKVI government, but I had not gone through the rules because the college gave me the wrong information. The college told me, oh, you could just apply it. You've been doing your studies in your college. Your, I mean, when I say college, I mean is a graduate degree from so and so university in Karnataka. It's an English medium university. They always teach in English. You've been having English as a subject with the other languages all the 15 years of your educational life. You don't need to do it. Oh, you don't need to show that much money. The college that you're applying to is in the suburbs of the city of London. So you have to show that amount. And I was surprised and I was happy about it. And I applied. The second time I applied, I had some other silly mistake made. And I got rejects. Now, I would call this my mistake, my genuine mistake. And this is not something you would have to experience. But what I meant to say by me sharing my story is look out for this data, look out for this requirements by the UKVI. If you're going to a country, try to check what are the rules of the visa that is required on the website. Check your university website. What requirements have they put? Everything is put in black and white there. Everything. I found everything online when I started doing my research after the bad impression that was made from the agency, the student education agency that I was applying to for the same. So that has been my takeaway from my experience. And as I told you, just do your proper research. Take 2 years if you need to, or take a few months, but have a proper thorough research for the country that you're going to. Don't depend only on YouTube videos where people are giving more of their informed decisions or their advice. Yes, you can take on advice, but not on their decisions. Probably it was their individual preference. Number two, ask. Ask people around. Ask the university. Ask your sponsor. If you're coming on a work visa, also, you can ask your sponsor, what is this? What are the living conditions here? What is your payment going to be per month? And how many hours are you working for the whole month or for the whole week? And do your calculations. I think I've given two very important tips here. And this should help you make your right decision. You can hold on to see the next part of my second video, which will be about my university and how you can judge which course is best for you and which university could be best for you. Till then, ciao.